Welcome everyone. My name is Tristan Claridge and I'm the convener of this webinar series for the International Social Capital Association. The association's mission is to advance the research and application of the social capital concept. And if you're interested in finding out more about membership or perhaps attending our conference next year in Dubai, you can visit our website. In this session, we welcome Buddhini Amarathunga for a presentation titled Unveiling Trends in Social Capital Research, a bibliometric and systematic literature review. Buddhini is serving as a senior lecturer in the Department of Business Management, Faculty of Business Studies and Finance at Wayamba University of Sri Lanka since 2013. She is a PhD student at Management and Science University in Malaysia, and she has co-authored or authored over 100 research articles published in recognized index journals and conference proceedings, both locally and internationally. Her research interests include human resource management, graduate employability, higher education technology, knowledge management, and entrepreneurship. Buddhini also serves as a reviewer for several refereed journals, and her work on trends in social capital research has made a very important contribution to the field. We're delighted that you've agreed to give this webinar. Welcome, Buddhini, and over to you for the presentation.
Thank you so much, Professor Tristan Claridge. First of all, I would like to give my sincere gratitude for Professor Tristan Claridge, the president of the International Social Capital Association, for inviting me and for giving me this wonderful opportunity to conduct webinar on unveiling trends in social capital research, a bibliometric and systematic review approach. So once again, good morning and good evening, all the participants who have joined with us from all over the world. There may be some different parts, maybe members or the valuable participants from the different parts of the world. So without taking much time, let's start the session. As you aware, so we are going to start the session or the webinar on unveiling trends in social capital research, a bibliometric and systematic review approach. So let's move to the presentation. So this presentation, this webinar is basically depends on the research publication done, which has done by myself on mapping social capital and unveiling emerging trends through systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis, published by the Journal of Social Science and Humanities Review. As you can see here, this is an open access journal. So then anyone interested to read the full article, you can access to through this DOI and through this link for my article. So then basically the webinar is depend on this published article and my research. So then let's move to the next slide of the presentation. So when we are moving to the introduction, so this study is basically a dual focus study that anticipates quantitatively and qualitatively examining the literature on social capital by performing a systematic literature review and a bibliometric analysis. As you all aware, the social capital concept is a broad area investigated by researchers in numeric academic disciplines, including business, education, entrepreneurship, economics, sociology, human resource management, political science, environmental science, health sciences, and also the social sciences. So moving on the introduction, the social capital can be defined as a multidisciplinary concept that benefits students, education, higher educational institutions, businesses, entrepreneurs, government, policymakers, and entire general public in a country. Because the social capital refers to the networks, relationships, norms, and trust that exist among individuals and groups, enable them to work together more effectively to achieve shared goals. So this concept is essential part of in any organization to share their goals, objectives effectively. Accordingly, a network interactions built by collection of people that enables information exchange, boosts productivity, expands the pool of resources, and facilitates goal attainment is referred as social capital. So moving on, the introduction. So the social capital is recognized in several forms. So that means there are several categories of the social capital, as our participants are may already aware. There are three categories: bonding, bridging, and linking. So those function at distinct levels of interactions, micro level, macro level in the society. So the bonding refers to the form of social capital, the relationships and bonds within homogeneous groups, including family members, among close friends, or individuals with the same interest or histories. So that means the bonding is a connection or the relationship between the homogeneous members, sometimes in a family, organization, or the peer groups, and also the bridging is creating links between people or groups with different origins, cultures, or social identities is known as the bridging, the form of social capital. So the third category or third type of the social capital is linking. So the linking is relationships between individuals and institutions or people in position powers. For example, the relationship in the linkages between government and organizations can be recognized as the example for the linking form of the social capital. So this emergence or the advancement of the social capital has been affected by several current trends in the society and also several advancements of the technology as well. The generation of social capital has been brought about progressively by society's greater adoption and rapid development of the contemporary technologies. The current society, what we are living today, is undergoing through the fifth social revolution that is known as Society 5.0 as well. The Society 5.0 has been influenced for progressively grow the social capital concepts in the world. Because Society 5.0 or the fifth social revolution has created human-centered super smart society utilizing robotics and also the artificial intelligence, cloud computing, 5G, and big data. Therefore, the Society 5.0 transforms two types of relationships: the relationship between society and technological advances, and interaction between people and their society through the technology. So the Society 5.0 has significantly affected to the advancement of the social capital concept. So accordingly, the creation of social capital has been facilitated the current revolutionary telecommunication technology and various social and professional networking platforms available in the world. However, a range of research techniques must be used to generate novel insight into a field. There is a lack of scientific literature on social capital that employs advanced bibliometric analysis techniques and systematic literature review. And the current study, seeks to address that methodological gap by integrating bibliometric analysis, systematic literature review, and comprehensive literature evaluation into unified research approach. Accordingly, the findings of the present study will progress higher education and education in general, as well as improve understanding of the literature in the field of social science, social capital, and also the current study will examine and provide answers to the following or the upcoming 7 research questions in the light of thorough investigation. For the purpose of easy analysis, this study has set 7 research questions to be answered at the end of the research. So these are the 7 research questions. First one is, what are the descriptive characteristics of the retrieved empirical studies on social capital? And question number 2 is, what are the tendencies of the annual scientific production on social capital? Then third research question was, what are the most relevant and high impact sources in the field of social capital? And the fourth research question is, how are sources clustered into Bradford's law of scattering? And fifth research question is, what are the most relevant countries which have been highly published research on social capital? And also the sixth research question is, who are the most relevant authors and the author's productivity through Lokta's law of authors' scientific productivity? And also finally, the most important and most significant part of the research will be analyzed. Then what are the emerging and trending themes for the future of the social capital arena for the future investigations in the field of social capital. So those are the questions to be answered, targeted to be answered at the end of this research. So let's move to discuss one by one. So before that, let's discuss the methodology of the present study. So as this is filling the gap or bridging the gap of the methodological lapses, so this current study is incorporated a bibliometric analysis as well as a systematic literature review. Because the systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis, not like traditional literature review method, the author's subjectivity has been demonstrated to decrease with the transparent, repeatable, systematic literature review method, which establishes an objective baseline by removing unnecessary publications, and also the subjectivity of the authors will be managed using this systematic literature review and bibliometric methods. And also the academics may now access findings more rapidly and methodologically because of technological improvements, the sophisticated electronic databases, which will reduce the subjectivity. The present investigations methodology consists of 3 components, as we can see in the upcoming figure. So the methodology of the research, of the present research has been categorized, has been separated for the 3 sections. So as you can see in this figure, first section is the data collection and screening. The database for the present research has been retrieved from the Scopus database, as that is the largest research database in the world, operating since 1823. year 1823. So then, the database was selected from the scopus for the present study. And also the time span in between 1994 and 2023. The 1994 was the year the first social capital research has been recorded for the Scopus database. And the considered geographical area is a worldwide. And also the database has been designed and modified using the Prisma statement. And also the data has been screening using the Microsoft Excel. Let's move to the second part of the methodology, the software selection. So as we discussed earlier, the present study is a multi-mode study and a dual mode study with having quantitative and qualitative analysis. So the software selection is also one of the significant aspect of the study. For the present research, the Biblioshiny software, WasWeaver software, our studio program, and the Microsoft Excel programs have been used. The special feature of this Biblioshiny and WasWeaver and our studio, all those softwares are open access softwares which can be downloaded and which can be used freely as your purpose. The data analysis, the next part of the methodology is consist with data analysis techniques. So basically, the bibliometric data analysis techniques have been applied to this study using both Biblioshiny and WasWeaver softwares. There are several methods have been applied to solve the 7 research questions what we have discussed earlier. So here we have used descriptive information analysis, scientific production analysis, source impact analysis, author impact analysis, Bradford's law of scattering analysis, Lokta's law of scientific productivity analysis, keywords co-occurrence map analysis, trend topics analysis, and thematic map of keywords analysis using this Biblioshiny and WasWeaver softwares. So that is the information regarding the selected methodology of the present study. And let's move to the research questions. So let's move to the answers for the research questions what we have discussed at the very beginning of the session. So the research question 1 was, what are the descriptive what are the descriptive characteristics of the research empirical study on social capital? So here, as this table shows the descriptive characteristics or the basic information regarding the retrieved empirical studies on the social capital. So these are the basic data regarding the retrieved database, because as we have discussed as per our methodology, this database has been modified, has been adjusted considering the inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria related to the study, and also the preferred and also the Prisma statement has been used to modify or the adjust the data set as per the exclusion and inclusion criteria. So after the modifying the data retrieved database as per the Prisma statement, so these are the features or the descriptive characteristics of the database. There are articles got from several number of sources, around about 1056 journals the articles are comprised with taken from 1056 sources, that means the journals, and there are 4,295 documents are there, articles are there. When comparing the annual publication rate, annual number of publications regarding the social capital, the annual growth rate has been recorded as 20.21%, and that's a significant growth in comparison with the previous years. Then the period of data extraction, as we discussed earlier, that is in between 1994 and 2023, because the first article on the social capital has been recorded in 1994 in the Scopus database. And also considering the articles, the authorship of the articles, the number of single author documents was 923, and the number of multiple author documents were 3,372. And also when we are discussing about the characteristics of the author and author's collaborations, the total number of authors were 8,749. And also number of average number of co-authors per document has recorded as 2.5 approximately, that might be 3. So then percentage of international co-authorship, the articles written or published with co-authors in multiple countries might be 25.47. And also the basic description about the citations and references was average citation number per article is 37. And also the total number of references available in the entire database is 220,123. Total number of references were there. So those are the basic characteristics or the descriptive characteristics of the retrieved database. So let's move to the second research question of this present research. So that was the analyzing what are the tendencies of the annual scientific production on social capital. So then, as you can see in this graph showing the annual scientific production, so it's showing the annual scientific production since 1994 up to 2023. So here, the number of scientific publications on social capital has significantly increased since 2002. As you can see in this figure, so the before 2002, the publications has been emerged in very rarely and in significant numbers, but after 2002, as you can see in this figure, the number of publications on social capital has been increased in considerable amount. So and also the largest scientific publications or the scientific productions, that means the 353 publications occurred in 2022. But the thing is, in the data has been extracted in the October month of 2023. That might be the reason for decreasing the number of publications belongs to the 2023. So other than that, the up to 2022, the largest number of production or the publications, research article publications on social capital has been done in year 2022. And also, the yearly output of social capital shows a significant increase from 2019. So I think that might be the reason for applicable all the disciplines of the research areas after COVID pandemic. So the researchers has found that after the COVID pandemic, all over a majority of the disciplines, the research of the regarding the majority of the disciplines has been increased. So that may be the reason for increase in the number of publications since 2019. So then from 2019, there is significant improvements of the or remarkable improvement of the the research publications on social capital. To sum up, the research indicates that the field of study social capital is expanding quickly with an annual growth rate of 20.21% scientific productivity. So that's a very good improvement because the growth rate of the annual production is around 20%. So that is the nature of that is a tendency of the annual scientific production or annual scientific publications on social capital arena. So then let's move to discuss the third research question of the present study. So that says, so as you can see in this table, so the third research question is answered in the question, what are the highly relevant and high impact sources in the context of social capital? So that means what are the kind of journals which have been highly published, the articles on social capital discipline. So these are the top 10 high impact sources, top 10 high impact journals which have been published, the articles on the social capital. So as per the data received from the bibliometric analysis from the Biblioshiny software, so these are the results, or these are the top 10 sources or the top 10 journals. As you can see here, these top 10 sources has been decided based on the H index and also the G index, and also the information regarding the started year of the journal has been mentioned, and also the total citation of the related journal has been mentioned. So then, as per the results, the World Development Journal and also the Entrepreneurship and Regional Development Journals are the highly article published journals on the social capital. So then let's move to the fourth research question of the study. So this fourth research question will be answering to the question, how are sources clustering through Bradford's law of strategy? So that this Bradford's law was used to organize each journal decline in order based on the total number of publications on the relevant theme. So actually, using this Bradford's law of scattering, it is decided what are the most productive and highly published journals regarding the social capital discipline. So the division of journals into multiple categories according to the production levels establishes quantitative relationship between journals and scientific articles of a particular topic. Consequently, each publication falls into one of the three groups. So the journals are categorized into one of the three groups. As you can see here, the peripheral group, elite group, or core group. These are the three categories of the articles or the sources, right? So the peripheral groups, least productive, and the elite group, moderately productive, and the core group is most productive. So accordingly, the most relevant articles regularly published on the topics can be found in the core group. So let's see the results that let's see the result or the table showing the Bradford's loaf scattering. So as you can see here, all the sources are categorized into 3 categories: core group, elite group, and peripheral group. But the thing is, as you can see here, around 1,430 articles has been published in 56 sources, 56 journals, and also around 1,451 articles published in 202 journals, and around 1,440 articles have been published in 798 sources, 98 journals. So then the most productive and also the core sources or the most frequently published sources are only 56. Even though there are a total number of 1,056 sources which have been published, the articles on social capital, among that, out of that, only 56 journals or 56 sources have been published 1,430 articles. So then these sources, these journals are called as most productive or the more regularly publishing journals by the authors. So then, from this Bradford's law of sources scattering, the productivity of the or the most productive journals or the sources are determined. So let's move to the research question number 5. So that means what are the most relevant countries for conducting social capital? So that means, so here we are discussing about the countries which have been highly conducted research on the social capital concept. So as you can see here, this table has been produced by the Bibliometric software. So as you can see here, the top 10 countries, this table shows the top 10 countries who has contributed highly to the scientific production or the scientific article publications on social capital. As you can see here, there are 10 countries who are holding the top 10 positions, who are publishing the articles on social capital. USA is number 1, which has been producing around 2,060 articles, and UK and China, Australia, Spain, Italy, Canada, Germany, Netherlands, Indonesia. So those are the top 10 countries who has been hugely contributed, who has been highly published articles on social capital in between the selected time gap to the 1994 to 2023. So let's discuss the as you can see here, so this is the same figure also generated by the Bibliometric software. So this figure showing the scatter of the number of production made by each and every countries in the world. The dark blue, the countries which have been marked using the dark blue has been produced large number of articles comparing the light blue colored countries. And also the countries with having gray color, they have not produced single article on social capital. So the gray color means no article publications on social capitals. From dark blue to light blue, it shows the frequency or the number of articles published by each countries. As you can see here, there are some countries with having dark blue, and there are some countries with having the light blue. So then, in comparison with the light blue colored countries, the dark blue colored countries have published larger amount of publications on social capital. And the gray colored countries has not recorded any article publications on the social capital. So that is the scatter of the number of publications all around the world on the social capital. So let's discuss the answers for the research question number 6. So as per the research question number 6, it is addressing, so it is discussing who are the most relevant authors and the author's productivity through the Lokta's law of author's scientific productivity. So this question analyzes not only the most relevant authors, but also the author's productivity through the Lokta's law of author's scientific productivity. So this, as you can see in this table, so this table has been generated by Bibliometric software. So the top 10 highly relevant and high impact authors in the discipline of social capital has been mentioned in this table. So as you can see here, there are number of publications, H index, G index, and total citations received for their articles have been mentioned. So considering those number of publications and also their scientific output, they have been ranked. So those authors are the top 10 authors who have highly published articles on research publications on social capital. So then let's move to discuss the productivity of the authors. So when we are discussing the productivity of the authors, the Lokta's law of authors' scientific productivity is used for this research to analyze the scientific productivity of the authors. So this task has been facilitated by the Bibliometric software. So Alfred J. Lokta introduced this Lokta's law in 1926, which uses overall number of articles published as a measure of an author's productivity. As a result of Lokta's law, it determines how frequently writers in a certain topic publish. The findings of Lokta's law of author's scientific productivity are shown in the upcoming table. Consequently, out of the 8,749 authors in total, 7,462, around 85% authors have written only one publication. So while only 908 at the or else only around 10% authors have authored 2 publications in the field of social capital discipline. So thus, out of 8,749 authors, only 379 authors, around 4% authors have produced 3 or more papers. So given that the majority of the authors, around 85%, have only published 1 paper on social capital. So it is clear that the author's productivity is extremely low. So as you can see in this table generated by Bibliometric software, so this table shows the outcome of Lokta's law of author's scientific productivity. So then, as per this table, around 7,462 authors have published only 1 article, right? Each authors have been published only 1 article. So then the majority of, that means that around 85% of the authors in the retrieved database has been published by only 1 article on the social capital. So then author's productivity is relatively low, as majority of the members have been published within their period or within their lifetime. only one article has been published within their lifetime. So the author productivity is relatively low, as around 85% of the authors produce only one single publication on the social capital. So this Lokta's law is describing the number of the articles published by the number of authors within the retrieved database. The authors who have published more than two articles, relatively low. So then the author's productivity is relatively low. So then this Lokta's law is used to analyze the author's scientific productivity, and that shows the number of publications done by each authors in the database. So then let's move to the 7th research questions discussed under the study. So then the 7th research questions is related to the, is answering to the question, what are the emerging and trending themes for future investigations in the field of social capital. So this is the most important and this is the most significant part of the study, because this question is answering the emerging and the trending areas of the social capital research to be investigated by the future researchers. So then several methods, several data analysis techniques have been applied to analyze or recognize the emerging areas or the trending areas related to the social capital research studies. So using both WOSWeaver and the Biblioshiny softwares, several mechanisms have been applied, several data analysis techniques have been applied to analyze the trending areas of the studies in social capital. So the keywords analysis and the keywords density visualization map, and also the trend topic analysis and the thematic analysis of keywords. Those are the kinds of methods used to analyze the trending areas. So the keywords are essential markers of research hotspots, topics, trends, and also the directions, since they capture the main concept of an article. So therefore, these keywords, the examination of the keywords, especially utilizing methods like keyword clustering analysis and the analysis of keyword density visualization from WOSWeaver software, helps to reveal the fundamental trends in an area of research. So the current study has extensively utilized both WOSWeaver and Biblioshiny softwares to recognize the emerging and the trending areas in the discipline of social capital research. So the primary goal of keyword occurrences analysis is to assess the relationships between keywords in a set of articles to identify popular topics and enhance scholars' comprehension of ongoing scientific issues on social capital. So let's move to discuss the keyword co-occurrence analysis conducted by using the WOSWeaver software. Using the WOSWeaver, the keyword co-occurrence analysis was carried out in the current study, because for the clustering, the WOSWeaver software is recognized as one of the best software for the clustering. So the WOSWeaver software has supported to create the keyword co-occurrence analysis of the present study. So as per the data of the retrieved database, a total of 11,563 keywords were found, with 178 appearing more than 20 times. The keyword cluster map that was produced by this research is shown in the upcoming figure. So the different color frames stands for different kinds of keywords clusters. So the each clusters with having some kind of similar features are representing using the same color, and the line width indicate the strength of the association between two keywords, and while the frame size indicate the frequency of keyword occurrences. So as you can see here, this is the keyword co-occurrence analysis, or the keyword clusters generated by VOSweaver software. So as per the VOSweaver software, the total number of keywords in this retrieved database on the social capital has been categorized into 7 categories that showing as cluster 1. The cluster 1 has been denoted using the red color. Then there are around 46 items belongs to the cluster 1, and also the cluster 2 denoted by using the green color. So then around 37 keywords has been categorized into that cluster, and also the cluster 3 is denoted by dark blue, and 30 items, or the 30 keywords are included in that cluster. And also the cluster 4 is denoted by yellow color. The keywords which you can see here denoted by yellow color belongs to the cluster 4. There are around 27 items. Unfortunately, some of the items are really the size of some of the items are small. That has not been captured by the co-occurrence analysis figure, but however, they have recognized around this number of keywords included in this cluster. And also the cluster 5 represent in the purple color, and there are around 22 items, 22 keywords belongs to that cluster. And also the cluster 6 represent in the light blue color, and also comprised with the 14 keywords. And the cluster 7 is representing using the orange color. So relatively in comparing the other clusters, the cluster 7 is a very small and very relatively insignificant cluster. So then the 7 kind of keyword clusters have been recognized by the VOSweaver software related to the database on social capital. Furthermore, as wider frames for these terms are displayed in figure, the top 3 most frequently occurring keywords were social capital. So as you can see in this figure, if the size and the frame is bigger, so that says that keyword has been highly occurred. So as you can see here, the social capital figure, or the frame size, or the figure frame size of the social capital is relatively bigger than the others. So this size of the shape also said some message about the number of frequency of that keywords. So then, as you can see here, the social capital figure, or the social capital shape, is having some kind of relatively larger size than other keywords. So that is the highest or the most frequently occurring keywords in comparison with others. So that has been occurred 4,495 times. And also the second highly occurred keyword is human capital. So then that has been occurred in 411 times. And also the third keyword which has been highly occurred is the social networks. So then, those three keywords are highly utilized, or the highly occurred, or the frequently occurred keywords in the uh, articles or the research on social capital. Then social capital, human capital, and the social networks. So those are the trending keywords of the social capital research as per the keyword co-occurrence analysis. So then you can have very good idea using the keyword co-occurrence analysis and the size of the figure, size of the shape, and also the using the clusters, and also the number of occurrences reported by the Weaver software. You can recognize what are the trending and what are the mostly discussed and what are the high frequently occurring keywords of the related to the previous research on social capital. So let's further discuss about the keywords analysis. So the keyword density visualization map also a kind of analysis technique used to give some kind of trending areas, high frequently discussed topics. So this density visualization map also generated by the Weaver software. The most common keywords are highlighted with the bigger font size and the yellow color. So as you can see in this the keyword density visualization map. So this yellow color and the light yellow color, or the brighter yellow color indicate that so this keyword has been occur higher frequently rather than others. So as you can see here, the social capital is the high frequently occurred keyword as per the keywords density visualization map. So here, sorry. So as per the previous discussion, approximately of the terms of the keyword density visualization map indicate their co-occurrences. So based on the keywords co-occurrences analysis through what was your software, and also the keyword density visualization map, the trending keywords and also the more highly discussed keywords can be recognized. So then as per the analysis of the trend keyword co-occurrences analysis as well as the keywords density visualization map, the several trendy and highly discussed concept in the social capital area has been recognized as the social capital, human capital, social networks, innovations, entrepreneurship, knowledge management, sustainability, knowledge sharing, collective actions, and intellectual capital. So then those are the outcomes of the keyword co-occurrences analysis as well as the keyword density visualization map. If the yellow color is highly visible, so that represent the number of occurrences are higher. Number of occurrences are higher in that keyword in comparison with other. So then this keyword density visualization map also explaining or giving very good analysis regarding the occurrences of the keywords and the relationship between each and every keyword, that means the clustering and the strength of the cluster. So that all about it will be displayed using the keywords density visualization map. So then, this research has been applied the trend topics map, which has been generated by the Bibliometric software. The trend topic map also useful to analyze the trending areas related to the social capital discipline. as you can see in this trend topic map generated by Bibliometric software, at the left-hand side, these all the terms are trending topics. All the terms denoted in the left-hand side in this 10 topic map are trending topics. And also here, the size of this dot or the size of the circle denotes the number of frequency used by each term. So if the bigger the size of the circle, that denotes the higher the frequency of the occurrences of that particular trend topic or that particular term. So therefore, as you can see in this figure, trend topic map, left side, or the areas or the concept in the left hand side are the trending areas or the trend topics recognized under the social capital research. So then, just like the keyword occurrences and keyword density visualization map, here also some of the trending areas with having relatively higher occurring can be recognized. So the concern in the analysis of trending topics, the extensively occurring trending topics in the discipline of social capital includes networking, psychological capital, social media, entrepreneurship, innovation, community, human capital, trust, cultural capital, firm performance, and the governance. So then, so those are the trending areas, the highly trending areas under the social capital research using this trend topic analysis conducted by the Bibliometric software. So then let's move to the one of the other most important analysis to discuss the trending areas, the emerging areas under any subject discipline. So the thematic map of keywords analysis is helped to recognize the keywords under these 4 categories. So this is also an outcome or a figure or a table generated by Bibliometric software. So as per this thematic map of keywords analysis, the keywords are classified into 4 categories. As you can see here, there are 4 quadrants. There are 4 quadrants in this figure. So then each and every quadrant giving some unique keywords to be discussed by the future researchers. So the as you can see here, the basic theme. So this quadrant given the basic themes or the themes which have been highly discussed under the social capital. So then okay, so the basic themes are belongs to the highly discussed themes, highly discussed areas under previous studies. If there are some keywords belongs under these basic themes, so those have been studied and discussed by the previous studies highly by the previous authors. So you can see right up on a quadrant, motor themes. The motor are the themes to be discussed the churches. Those are the merge themes expected to be also again it's niche themes. The niche themes are some kind of
Looks like your internet quality just dropped out for a second. Do you want to try resharing your screen?
I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I think there was a problem in the internet connection.
Yes, it appears that way. If you want to try resharing now to see if that works.
I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. There was a problem by internet connection, I think. So let me share again the PPT. So what we were discussing about the thematic map of keywords. So here we were discussing about the niche themes. So the niche themes are relatively isolated or some kind of themes which have been discussed regarding some kind of specific areas, niche areas, and also the left lower quadrant displays the emerging or declining themes in the social capital discipline. So these themes can be decided by the author because both emerging and declining themes are given produced by this quadrant. So the each and every theme can be decided by the authors, by the researchers, whether this is an emerging or whether this is an declining. So the researchers or the authors are given the authority to decide whether this is emerging or declining. So however, considering all those four quadrants, the areas or the themes to be discussed by the future researchers is given using these motor themes, because motor themes are the areas or giving the areas to be addressed, to be researched by the future researchers. So this is what we have already discussed about the thematic map of keywords. So then, as per discussion, we can conclude. So the motor themes, as we discussed earlier, the motor themes are the quadrant, highlight the topics that merit more research because they have not been thoroughly examined by the earlier studies. So the motor themes are providing some kind of suggestions or the ideas for the future researchers to investigate thoroughly, incorporating all those motor themes. So consequently, motor themes are generally considered the most modern advances in the social science field. So any theme, most advanced and modern themes related to that particular field. So it is therefore related to the present study. So then it is suggested that future scholars to explore each of the themes under the motor themes like social networks, human capital, and entrepreneurship addressed by the future researchers as per the thematic keyword map of keywords analysis. So when we are moving to the conclusion of the present study, So the current study found relevant papers on social capital by searching the Scopus database from 1994 to 2023. Around 4,295 articles covering social capitals from 8,749 writers are found in 1,056 reliable sources. And also it was found that there has been a steady increase in research on social capital. So that means there were around 20% improvement, 20% growth of the research in social capital concept. And with significant after thorough quantitative and qualitative assessment of the literature, so it is necessary to understand its development and current state, uh, 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 pinpoint fruitful study topics, and predict future paths. So these are the trending areas, or the areas to be researched by the future researchers: social networking, entrepreneurship, innovation, knowledge management, social media, sustainability, human capital, psychological capital, knowledge sharing, intellectual capital, governance, collective actions, and cultural capital are the emerging trends and pathways for upcoming researchers in the field of social capital, as per the keywords analysis, keywords cluster co-occurrences analysis, trend topic analysis, and thematic map of keywords analysis applied by the present study. And also, notwithstanding the study's accomplishments, just like all the studies, there are some limitations of the related to the present study research as well. Because the Scopus database is only source data used in the study. But while Scopus is a valuable resource for bibliometric related papers, concentrating just on this database would have hindered our discovery of some important ones. So we will miss some other important papers available in other databases. That might be one of the limitations. And also, accordingly, researchers may find it beneficial to collect data from alternative databases. So then that might be one of the limitations. And also, accordingly, subsequent investigations could employ theoretical framework that integrates several viewpoints of methodological technique to provide indicators that quantify notions disclosed. And also, moving on the limitations, this analysis only took into account papers written in English language. Focusing just on articles in the English language would have excluded the significant contributions from sources that publish in non-English language. So that might be a limitation, one of the limitations of the study. And also, this study has been applied only the Weaver and Biblioshiny software for the analysis. And the different tools like BibExcel, Publish or Perish, JEPI, his site, and also those kind of softwares are available to analyze the systematic literature review and bibliometric analysis. So in addition, a variety of scientific illustration analysis tools like SiteNet Explore, SiteSpace, SiteMat, and SiteTool tools can be used by future researchers to characterize papers according to their reputation and popularity, and to obtain deeper comprehension of the connections among various analytical methods. So then, so those are the implications related to the study. But there are a large number of implications has been generated by the study. So this study is recognized as a comprehensive evaluation of the previous literature on social capital, despite all the limitations above. And also the outcomes of the analysis will enhance the areas of study and contribute to students, entrepreneurs, employers, politicians, policymakers, government, and the general public worldwide. So that's the end of this presentation. Thank you so much for being with me. And so let's move to the question discussion session. Professor Tristan. So that's the end of the discussion.
Thanks very much, Buddhini. Such an interesting analysis that you've done of the literature. It's certainly an enormous body of literature, and it's quite difficult, I think, at times to make sense of all of the different trends and the different patterns that are occurring in this vast body of literature. So let's have some questions. If anybody has any questions, please post your questions in the chat. This will allow us to ensure that there is good language comprehension. I will read out the question on your behalf, and Buddhini will provide some answers and commentary. So please post in the chat if you have any questions. Perhaps I'll start with the first one, Buddhini, if I can. I was struck by how few authors had published more than one article. It seemed like the percentage, I think, was 85.3% of authors had only published one article. So I know it's only Scopus data that you're using for that analysis, but it seems like the vast majority of authors are relatively inexperienced with social capital, despite the fact that social capital is a very complex concept. And it's curious that that would be the case. But I was wondering if you had a sense for how different the result would be if we included other data sources or other databases also in the analysis. Do you have a sense for whether or not it would still be a very high percentage of authors who had only published one article?
Yes, exactly, Professor. So there might be some practical problems faced by the authors. So that might be the reason for publishing only one article by around 85% authors, and also even as a citizen in a developing country like Sri Lanka, even the researchers in Sri Lanka also experience some difficulty to accessing some databases. So that kind of practical problems might be there for producing only one article by the majority of the authors, and also sometimes they might not be focusing entirely on the social capital discipline. So that's why the productivity has been decreased up to that level.
Yeah, because I think it's a very striking result. And I think what it means is that anyone who wants to publish on social capital, given the obvious level of inexperience with the concept, it would be great if there was systems to be able to support scholars who want to publish on social capital who have never done so before. And I think that is part of what our association is trying to do, is to help to support those people who want to use the concept. So there are a couple of other questions in the chat that we can move to. Ian was wondering whether you had done the same analysis, but removing social capital as a keyword, because it seems like social capital had a very, very high frequency, and it seemed to make it difficult to see the size of the other keywords relative to how big social capital was. So have you tried doing that, removing social capital out of the analysis so that we can see the relative weights of the other keywords?
Yes, exactly. Because this is that keyword co-occurrence analysis producing the number of occurrences, and also that they show that if the bigger the size of the shape, that shows the number of occurrences of that particular keyword. So actually is that participant is asking whether we can perform the keyword co-occurrence as analysis? Is that the question, Professor?
Yes, it's from Ian
No,
Keyworth.
I guess that okay, yes. So as that is exact keyword used by the used to retrieve the data set as well. So then it is obviously the highly frequent keyword might be the social capital. So that might be the reason for having the highly frequent keywords as the social capital in the keyword co-occurrences analysis and also the density visualization map. We can't exclude that keyword when we are going to the keywords analysis, because as that is the basic keyword used to retrieve the database from this corpus.
Yes, yeah, I understand. Because it's a co-occurrence analysis, social capital has to be there to do the co-occurrence analysis. But I think the comment was simply that because social capital was so big, all of the other keywords looked relatively small, and it was difficult to see the relative size of the other keywords. But I understand exactly the limitation of the software that you're and the methodology that you're using. So Deepak also has a question in the chat asking what were the keywords used? They missed the beginning. So if you don't mind just explaining again the way in which you selected the articles in your methodology.
Yes, so there was a query or a syntax to retrieve the data set from the scopus. So as per the scopus syntax or the query, the social capital was the most prominent keyword, and also we have limited the database as the using only the English language articles and also the journal articles, and also we have put some inclusion criteria to take only the articles which are in the final stage. So the considering those inclusion criterias, this social capital English published in English language, and the journal articles which have published in the final stage. So those are the keywords and the inclusion points considered for the syntax of the retrieving data from the Scopus database.
So hopefully that answers your question, Deepak, but feel free to post another question or clarification if you have one. So I think it's interesting. I think this kind of work is really important to see what the patterns and trends are in the social capital literature. I've done perhaps not similar work, but I've done analysis using the Web of Science database exclusively, and I got a certain set of results, and I realized, of course, as you have acknowledged, the limitations of using just a single database. But when I tried to use other methods for doing the analysis, I used both Google Scholar data, and I also used Publish or Perish to aggregate across multiple databases. And what I found was I had to do a lot of additional filtering to remove articles that were not peer reviewed or that were simply just websites or that simply were errors in those data sets. And so I think there's limitations in doing this work that we can either use a data set that maybe is a bit limited but has quality data in it, or we could try to amalgamate across multiple data sets or use sources such as Google Scholar, but I think the quality of the data decreases significantly. And yet I think still this work is important to do, because if we need to understand what's happening in the literature and where the trends are as well. So it's not really a question, more of a comment, but feel free to respond if you have anything.
So there was a question made by Deepak. Was there a vast difference in number of studies in organizational level and in community? So actually, Deepak, so from our software, we have not separately, software is not supporting to analyze separately organizational level studies and community level studies. But from the data, when we are retrieving the database, we can filter. But here we have retrieved all the organizational levels and community levels research together. No any separation has been done with our research, but I'm suggesting you, if you like to filter, if you want to do the literature review on social capital research, which have been conducted related to the organizational setting or the corporate sector, and also separate related to the community sector or the community development or such kind of areas, you can retrieve separate data sets from the relevant data repositories. So then that might be some kind of solution to separately discuss or separately analyze the research which have been done regarding the business sector and as well as the community sector. I think I have answered to the second question given by Deepak.
Yeah, I think so, because it seems like quite a challenge just to separate
Yes.
those literatures purely doing a bibliometric analysis. I think to accurately be able to identify the organizational level compared to the community level may require somebody to actually read the paper in order to make that classification, which of course isn't happening when you do a bibliometric kind of analysis. So I think, Buddhini, you're suggesting that possibly it could be done through either additional keywords to filter the papers in the first place, or potentially maybe even from the publication source, because some publications are going to be publishing organizational studies, whereas other publications may be publishing community level studies. So it certainly would be interesting to do this. I mean, I think the challenge of reading papers to do this kind of analysis is maybe makes it impossible to do. When I did an analysis of 250 papers, I was reading for about a month in order to do that analysis. And in the end, there was still a lot of subjective assessments going on when I was trying to classify a paper as one thing or another based on my understanding of it. So it took both a lot of time, and in the end, a lot of it was subjective kind of classifications. But still, I think these are good questions to ask.
Yes. And also, if you can retrieve separate database, you can do the comparisons as well. The organizational settings, keywords related to the social capitals, and also the community setting keywords related to the social capital. So that kind of comparisons also can be done. If you can retrieve the separate databases, as Professor Tristan suggested. If you can do some limitation, also the limit keyword, so then separate databases will help to analyze separate data in the separate settings. So that can be encouraged for the comparisons as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So it seems like we've run out of questions. So thanks very much, Buddhini, for this presentation. It's been really interesting, and thanks for taking the time to do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us, all the participants. And also, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. And our webinar series continues next week. We have a webinar on building social capital through mentoring programs at the Goa School in India. So if anyone's interested in that, please come along and join us next week. Details are on the International Social Capital Association's website.